It is a gloomy kind of day out today. It's all gray. It's actually really nice though. The weather's pretty good, but decided to hit an estate sale, and I thought I would show you some of the vintage toys and games and all that kind of stuff that I got today. First of all, I found this Donald Duck in a standee. Here's the thing. I don't know if this is supposed to come with it, if it's a display Donald Duck. Oh, it is. It says it right on the bottom. So for some reason, Donald Duck is in this torture device. It doesn't have a date on it, so I'm not entirely sure when it's from, but if I had to guess, I would say the 80s. That would be my guess. But so I have this Donald Duck with a Donald Duck standee. Then up next, I got a Donald Duck puppet. So you got the moving mouth part here. You got the arms that you can move, bob the head up and down. Yeah, so we got Donald Duck as a puppet, and just that's all there is to it. I keep thinking I have more to add, but I really don't. Then I have this, what I think kind of looks like a crazy drunk sort of Donald Duck Beanie Baby. And his head just kind of flops around as I'm holding it here. It's like it's going, get this segment over with already, sheesh. Or in the Donald Duck voice, which I can't do. Then next, I have this vintage canasta game. Now canasta comes with this weird like placeholder so you can keep two separated decks in it. And apparently it's very important for the game. I've sold a few of these. I don't really know much about it, but I know that people like them. And I thought these cards looked kind of cool, these really vintagey old cards. And it comes with the old score pad from the canasta game. People just like to have these kind of vintage things. They do look neat. That's why I got it. And of course, because I'm a sucker for old illustrated sort of paper ephemera things, I've also got this classic rummy game that has Felix the cat as the theme on it. And then these Whitman playing cards that all have very unique face cards on them. And they're all sort of like a designy face front. Face front? Yeah, face front. Card faces. So I always like to pick up things like that just because I think they look cool. Then I also found this vintage Cootie game. Now Cootie, of course, is the game where you put together this little bug thing that's called a Cootie. The older versions of the game kind of came like this, and it had these pieces inside of it with little sections in the board that you could keep them in. I would tilt it up more, but they're all gonna fall out if I do that. And again, I'm not sure on the year, I'm gonna have to research that, but it's a pretty old looking one. Another thing that I got this week was a whole bag full of Fisher-Price toys from the 1970s, the early 1970s. So here we have a Fisher-Price Ranger plane boat set. So the plane can actually land in the water. It's kind of a tub toy. I believe the plane comes apart, but I don't just want to yank it because who knows if I'll break something. It's still got the original pilot inside of it, although his head seems a little floppy. So yeah, the pilot's still there. I can't put him back in right now. I also have this Fisher-Price adventure van from 1977, I believe. So it's got the back door that opens. It comes with the pontoon, I think it's called. A pontoon? Is that what this is? Toboggan? No, pontoon. Anyway, a boat. And inside are all the people. Like, you got this guy. Man, they just do not want to hold their heads up. You got this guy. Then you've got like this Evel Knievel looking guy. It even comes with the cool motorcycle. I used to have this. I loved this motorcycle. I thought the wheels were so cool. And inside the front are the two drivers, although this guy looks like he's having a little party right there. And then there's also this Fisher-Price all-terrain vehicle that also comes with the guy who, while it says Ranger on the side, he kind of looks like a Ranger, doesn't he? Hey kids, put out your fires. Also from Mattel Electronics, I have this armor battle game. There are no batteries in it, so I'd show you how it works, but it's just basically one of those games where you kind of go beep, boop, bop, boop, boop, and things move across there digitally. And then this very odd game that I used to have, but I don't remember what it does or why I played with it or what the games were, but I know it has several, and it's called Merlin. Merlin, the game that looks like the phone, there would be buttons you push and you would do tic-tac-toe, or you would do this weird game where you push one thing and then other little dots that appear in here would kind of rearrange themselves. Yeah, I don't know. I can't wait to put batteries into this one and try and remember how it's played. And then one more sort of 1970s digital video game is Digital Derby, Auto Raceway. So if I had batteries in this, you would see that inside there's a little car piece that's on a track. Now, what would happen is the digital strip that's underneath it would show cars coming by, and you would have to try to get out of their way and pass them, the little red digital things, and it would make noise, and you have a steering wheel here and everything, and you could go fast and slow, you know, change gears. This was a pretty dope game back in the 1970s. And then to finish things out, a whole box full of die-cast farm toys, tractors, and then of course the cart to pull with the tractor. I almost couldn't think of the word cart. You got other kinds of like farming tools and hose and rakes and things like that. So I have a whole box of that stuff. And those were some of the vintage toys, games, and books and other items that I found today.